Today is November 4th. We are skipping lesson 4, going to lesson 5, equivalent ratios. Just make sure that you have the table of contents, okay, that we're labeling the page numbers to. All right, and then we're on lesson 5. I'm on page 32 in my notebook. I don't know what page you're on, but it doesn't have to be the same page. Now you were supposed to do the Are You Ready for More? I think it was on October 30th. This is one way to do that. First off, you have a 24 square unit and you have to make a ratio of 2 to 1, whatever colors you want. So I made a ratio of 2 to 1 with black and green. And then they're telling you make another shape that's not 24 square units and do a 2 to 1 ratio to that. So my shape is still a rectangle, all right? But it's 30 square units now. So then you notice it's a 2 to 1 ratio, okay? So that's what you were supposed to do. So make sure you submit that whenever you can. Are you ready for more activity? Half of the 6th grade has turned it in. I still haven't seen the other half. Okay, so here's the notes. So pause it and write it down. So those are learning targets. There's no vocabulary. And then you can write this down in your notes. It's up to you. It's optional, but I would do it just in case. So if you have 3 video games and 5 chairs, the ratio is 3 to 5. How to find an equivalent ratio is by multiplying the numerator and denominator with a value. So let's just say I use 4, right? So 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 4 is 20. So those are equivalent. 3/5 is equivalent to 12/20. How do I know that? Because there's 4. 4 times 3 is 12, and 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, so that's one way. Another way you can figure it out is that you can cross multiply. If you cross multiply and the products are the same, then that they're equivalent. Again, product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So 3 times 20 is 60. 5 times 12 is 60. So 60 and 60. So they're equivalent. All right. Let's do one more. Let's do 10. Let's do 10. So 3 times 10 is 30. 5 times 10 is 50. So they're equivalent. 3/5 is equivalent to 30/50th. Remember, it's kind of like with yesterday's that mixture problem, mixture B and mixture C. Mixture C looks like there's a lot more, but it's still the same ratio. The flavor is still going to be the same. All right? So if you cross multiply, you still get the same answer. 3 times 50 is 150. 5 times 30 is 150. All right? So do this one. See if it's equivalent or not. So go to pause it. All right, they're not equivalent. One way we can do this is you can cross multiply and they're not going to be the same answer. Also, what's 7 times what is 14? 2. Well, what's 5 times 2? 10. It's not 8, so we know they're not equivalent. And how about this one? What do you think? It is equivalent. Because if I cross multiply, you get 120 for both. Also, 6 times what is 12? 2. So then this has to be 2. 10 times 2 is 20. So they're equivalent. All right? And then underneath here, or wherever you stop, put STS 5.2. So this is a student task statement. We're going to do 5.2. So you have these right here. 3 cups of elbow pasta, 6 ounces of tuna, and so on. What's the ratio of the ounces of soup to the cups of shredded cheese to the cups of pasta? So how many ounces of soup are there? How many cups of cheese are there? How many cups of pasta are there? And then you're going to write it out. The answer is 10 to 1 to 3. So a ratio has to be at least 2 numbers. It can be 3 numbers, 4 numbers, up to you. But it has to be at least 2. Okay? So 10 to 1 to 3. Now on 2A, how much would be the twice amount? If this is 1 batch, how much is it for 2 batches? So we would multiply those numbers, right? You would get, wait for it, 20 to 2 to 6. How about half the amount? So what's half of 10, half of 1, half of 3? 5 to half to 1 and a half. Okay? What is 5 times the amount? So 5 times 10, 5 times 1, 5 times 3. So 50 to 5 to 15. Okay, so we're going to stop there, and we'll continue this tomorrow. Don't do the lesson 5 practice problems yet. All right, don't do that yet. Make sure you do the social studies homework. That's due tomorrow. You have to read chapter 1 and then draw that diagram. Know the 3 new accountable talks for this week. The accountable talk category can be the same, but the accountable talk has to be different. Make sure you do the I ready if you have a chance. Okay. All right. Any questions? Let me know. Thank you.